Hello everyone, myself Shweta Shah, Assistant Professor at LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. We are here for subject Computer Organization and Architecture. We have started Unit 2, that is Basic Computer Organization and Design. From this unit, in last lecture, we have seen computer instructions. We will see how you can design instruction cycle, any of instruction cycle. Your instruction is stored at memory. Any of your instruction is stored at a memory. Okay, and whenever you require to execute that instruction, first you have to do what? You have to fetch that instruction. Okay, then second thing, you have to decode that instruction. Then third thing, if you decode instruction and if you find out that it is having indirect addressing, so you have to calculate effective address. If it is direct addressing, then okay, you will get directly address of your operand. But if it is indirect addressing, then you require to calculate effective address. And fourth thing will be execution of your instruction. That means for any instruction which is stored in your memory requires 4 tasks. First one is a fetching of instruction. Second one is a decoding of instruction. Third one is a reading effective address of your operand. And fourth one is a execution of instruction. Okay. And this process for first instruction, if you have done fetch, decode, calculation of effective address and execution, then second instruction, third instruction, fourth instruction, and so on. All instructions are going to fetch, decode, execute up to when you got hold instruction. Okay, so this is your simple procedure for any instruction to be executed: fetch, decode, calculate effective address, and execute instruction. Okay, so for this you will require some timing signal. Okay, as we know that our system works on timing signal. Okay, we know that our system works on a timing signal. So all of these 4 tasks that we require to complete to execute any instruction will require timing signal. Okay, so for first timing signal, first thing, you will require address of instruction. Okay, that at which location you are going to fetch instruction from memory, that is right. But for that fetching of instruction, you will require first thing, that is address of instruction. Where your address of instruction is stored, that is stored in a program counter. Okay, so first thing, you will require address of your instruction. Okay, so that you require to that you have stored in a program counter, that you require to store in address register. Why? Because we know that the memory content we can access is only of address which you have stored in a address register. Okay, so for that you have to store your program counter into address register, so that memory can decode this address and find out the content of that address location. Okay, so first thing, first operation is what? Fetching of instruction. And to fetch instruction, we will require first its address, that is stored at, that is stored in a program counter, that is going to be stored into address register at T0 timing signal. Okay, our address is there in our address register. Now second task will be find out the content of that address register. That content is what? That is our instruction, and that is going to be stored into instruction register. Yes, and you have to increment program counter by 1 for next instructions. Okay, so in first timing signal you will store program counter into address register. In a second timing signal, that is your T1 timing signal, in that timing signal you will store content of address register to instruction register, that is your instruction, and you will increment program counter by 1. Okay, that is for your next instruction. Now next thing will be, you got your instruction in instruction register. Next you require to decode that instruction and find out is ith bit is 1 or 0. Okay, so by decoding this instruction, you will generate D0 to D7. Any one of the signal is going to be generated according to your instruction, and ith bit is going to be stored as a 1 or 0. Okay, so here by decoding 12 to 14 bit, you will decode you will generate control signal from D0 to D7. Your address, yes, next ith bit is going to be stored in a IR 15th bit is going to be stored in a ith register, or you can say ith flag, and your remaining your 12 bits that are your address or going to be your or being your operations, okay, that are going to be stored into address register. Because if it is your memory reference instruction, then what you will require, you will require to fetch your operand. Where your operand is stored, your operand is stored at this 12-bit address. So you have to, second time you have to provide your address into address register so that memory can access that address. Okay, so you will provide this address to address register and I15 bit into I register. Okay, during time T3, the control unit determines the which type of instruction is it. That means which control signal is going to be generated. If it is D0 to D6, then it's your register reference, then it is your memory reference instruction. If it is D7, then your register reference or IO instruction, that will depend on ith bit. If it is 0, then your register reference instruction. If it is 1, then your input output instruction. Okay, so by this way you will determine which instruction is going to be executed. Okay, so for executing any instruction, you require fetching and decoding, then calculating effective address, and last thing, execution. For fetching, you require to store program counter into address register so that you got instructions address. Then you will store this instruction from that address to instruction register and increment program counter by 1 for next instruction. You will decode this 3 bits and find out which control is going to be generated. Addresses of 12 bit is stored into address register, or your operation is going to be stored into address register, and IR 15th bit is stored into ith flag. Okay, now let me see in terms of timing in terms of timing signal. Okay, in first timing, we are for starting your sequence counter will be 0. Okay, for first timing signal T0, you will put program counter into address register, program counter into address register. In timing signal 1, you will store content of memory location AR to IR register and program counter will be incremented. So in timing signal 1, we are going to complete this operation. In second T2 timing signal, you will decode in 3 bits. Address is stored into address register, and ith bit is IR bit, 15th bit is stored into ith register. Okay, now you have to take a decision which instruction is going to be executed. If it is D7 bit is 1, then it is clear that your register reference instruction or IO reference instruction is there. And if it is not, D7 is 0, that means any of your memory reference instruction will be there. That means any of D0 to D6 signal will be generated. Okay, so if your D7 bit is 1, that means your register or IO reference instruction is there. From that, you have to bifurcate whether it is a register reference or IO reference. So for that, you require ith bit. If your ith bit is 1, that means your input output instruction. So at T3 timing signal, or you can say next timing signal, you will execute that input output instruction. Okay, and after executing, putting sequence counter to 0 so that your next instruction can be fetch, decode, execute possible. Okay, and if your register your ith bit is 0, then your register reference instruction, so your register reference instruction is executed at T3 time and sequence counter is going to be 0, and then your next instruction is going to be executed. But what if your D7 signal is not generated? So it is clear that your memory reference instruction is there. So you have to find out for your memory reference instruction that whether it is direct address in scheme is used or indirect addressing scheme is used. That can be defined by ith bit. If your ith bit is 0, then your direct addressing, your address is already stored in an instruction register, so you don't require to do any task. Okay, but if it is indirect addressing, so you have to find actual address which is stored at address register, which is stored at location which is given by address register right now. Okay, so you require to store memory content of address register to AR, so that your effective address is going to be calculated at T3 time if your indirect addressing is used. And if your direct addressing used, then this during this time nothing is happened. Okay, it will be in a stop manner, or it will be in a waiting manner. And next timing signal onwards, it will execute memory reference instruction. It may be required 1 timing signal, 2 timing signal, 3 timing signal. That will depend upon your instruction, which instruction is going to be executed, which memory reference instruction is going to be executed. According to that, it will decide how many number of timing signals are required. Okay, so for at first timing signal, you are storing program counter to accumulator. At second timing signal, T1 timing signal, you are storing address that content of that location to instruction register and incrementing program counter by 1. In next timing signal, you are decoding instruction, storing address and storing ith bit. And next you are taking decision whether it is a register reference or IO reference or memory reference instruction. And according to that, at T3 time, you are going to execute register reference or IO reference instruction. And at T3 time in memory reference instruction, you are going to find out whether it's direct addressing or indirect addressing. And next timing signal, you will execute the instruction. And at last stage, for every instruction, you will put sequence counter to 0, so that next instruction can be executed. Okay, so next we are going to see memory reference instructions. As we have discussed earlier, that total 7 memory reference instructions are there, like AND, ADD, LDA, STA, BUN, BSA, and ISA. I have listed opcode for all of this instruction and control signal for all of this instruction. That means for your AND instruction, your D0 control signal will be generated. For ADD instruction, D1 control signal is generated. For LDA, D2, and so on. Okay. Now let me discuss this memory reference instructions one by one. First, here first instruction is a AND. In this instruction that performs the AND logic operation on pair of bits in accumulator and memory word specified by that effective address. Okay, you can specify address by direct addressing mode or indirect addressing mode by placing ith bit as a 0 or 1. Okay, and the result of this operation is going to be transferred into accumulator. For any of your instruction, you require to do fetching, decoding, calculating effective address, and then execution. Okay, so for all of this instruction, you have to do fetching and decoding and calculating effective address. That is your T0, T1, T2, and T3 time duration task. That is your T0, T1, T2, and T3 task. Here you are fetching at T0 and T1, decoding at T2 signal, and calculating effective address at T3 signal. Okay, and after that timing signal, that is your T4, T5, T6, that during that timing signal, you will execute your instruction. Okay, and that will be different, that will require different number of timing signals for different